Now let us go for the sewerage system. So here you can check out, it is not sewage system, it is sewerage system. So understanding this sewerage system, let us go with few of the basics. First is sewage. The term is sewage. So sewage indicates what? Municipal wastewater. That is domestic sewage, storm water, and infiltrated groundwater. So domestic sewage, already you know the waste what you generate in the residential, institutional, or any other commercial areas. Storm water in the sense what? Your rainfall runoff water which is going to flow in the open gutters or open drains. Those are nothing but the storm water. And infiltrated groundwater. Infiltrated groundwater is if you are putting any waste or even the runoff water through ground, if it infiltrates and again join it into any of the other water bodies, then you are going to add that as infiltrated groundwater. So all these together you can call that as sewage. Okay, together you can call that as sewage. Now the next thing is sewerage. Okay, or else I'll go for a first sewer first. So sewage is nothing but the liquid waste which is being generated, whether it is domestic or stormwater, both the things. Sewer is nothing but it is a conduit or it is a pipe which is actually carrying the sewage. So sewerage is, sewer is, it is the conduit which is carrying the sewage. Okay, next comes the sewerage. So sewerage systems for the collection and conveyance of municipal wastewater into STP or a point of disposal. That is, so the entire system of collection of sewage through sewers, you are going to call that as sewerage system. I'll repeat once again, the total system where you are going to collect the sewage through sewers is called as sewerage system. So through this sewerage system, what you are going to do, you are going to collect and transport or convey this collected sewage to the treatment plant, STPs, sewage treatment plant, or the point of disposal. If you are directly disposing it off, so at which point you are going to dispose of, those things are going to come over here. So these are the basic things that you need to understand before we go into the sewerage systems. Okay. Now let us see what are the different types of sewages or what are the different sources in our residential house where we are going to generate. Okay. First thing is toilet. Okay. Second is they have given is as kitchen. So kitchen sink, your washing or your cooking aspect. So even few of the what I can say filtered wash water. So that will come into your kitchen sink. Then we have your dishwasher, that is utensil cleaning. Then you have bath or showers, your bathing, then your cloth washing, and then miscellaneous. So this miscellaneous will include your house cleaning, your vehicle cleaning, gardening, and so on and so forth. So all these things are nothing but your basic sources through which your sewage is being generated. Now the same sewage, if you check out, is being divided into two parts. One is this black water and one more is this gray water. Okay, this is quite important for you to understand. Okay, even it will help us for the treatment aspect of it. If you check out the toilets and kitchen sink, here the maximum amount of pollutants which are going to be there are nothing but what? Organic in nature. Okay, so organic in nature means what? This is purely edible. Edible in the sense what? The microbes can easily degrade this organic matter. Okay, so this gray water which is including whether it is dishwasher, bath shower, cloths, or miscellaneous, so together this is called as gray water. So here if you check out, your organic as well as inorganic will be present. So maximum portion will be inorganic. What do I mean by that? For dishwashing we use soap, for bathing we use soap, for even cloth washing we use soaps. So even for the cleaning of home and vehicles we use shampoos and soaps. So basically what these shampoos and soaps are, these are nothing but the compounds of chemicals. So once you wash them, so basically even through here you are going to get what? Your chemicals into this. So chemical in the sense what? Inorganic in nature. So those inorganic pollutants are going to be there in gray water. Okay, inorganic pollutants are there in gray water. Similarly, if you come to this toilet or kitchen sink, so here black water, what we call it, so this is purely organic. So here there will not be any much of a chemicals that are going to be add up over here. So toilet, in the sense, here I am going to get urine or feces. Okay, together basically we call that as black water. And most of the time what will happen, as a civil engineer you should know, whenever we construct a house and build a septic tank, okay, so this black water only should be connected to a septic tank. If you put a gray water into the septic tank, then your microorganisms cannot survive these soaps or dishwashers or whatever it is. So inorganic pollutants which are there, your microorganisms in the septic tank cannot survive these. So that's why if you want a perfectly working septic tank, only this black water should be added over there. But because of some what I can say partially educated civil engineers, there are n number of scenarios where even the people basically put this grey water also into the septic tank. If you do that, definitely within few years of construction your septic tank is going to get blocked because of the one or the other reason, and there will be n number of difficulties that are going to prevail over there. So as a civil engineer you should know only the black water should be connected to the septic tank and not the gray water. Okay, so these are nothing but the different sources of waste which are going to be added. Apart from that, next thing is regarding the rainfall. If the rainfall is occurring through the house, through your particular what I can say roof, so the water can be collected. So this is nothing but the storm water. So usually storm water will be what? This will not be impure. So this is rainwater. So only the impurities what this may have is, once it falls on the roof, it may wash off with some of the dirt which is there on your roof. Okay, apart from that, it may absorb some of the gases which is there in the atmosphere. Okay, for example, if we have carbon dioxide, we have oxides of nitrogen, oxides of sulfur. So even those while having this rainfall, so this rainwater may have those dissolved gases within itself. So this is not that impure. Okay, this is not that impure. So this is again one more part of your sewage system or else a sewage source. I hope you are getting that. So to brief you, black water, gray water. Black water in the sense only the organic waste, gray water in the sense organic and inorganic waste, where inorganic concentration is much more. Okay, so that's why in this kitchen sink, if you check out, they have given it for both black water as well as gray water. The reason being, if you are not washing any of your utensils, then that water, so only washing of vegetables, so all those things can be taken to the black water. But if you use soap and wash your hands or any of the utensils, so at that point of time it will come to the gray water. So that's why this kitchen sink has been given with both the directions. Okay, so together now and black water and gray water together, we are going to call this as wastewater. So this wastewater is nothing but what? You are going to call that as combined sewage. So in this combined sewage, you can check out even the storm water is coming in. So wastewater will be from gray water and black water. That combined is, we call it as wastewater. To that, if we add storm water, then that entire thing you are going to call it as combined sewage, and your entire treatment usually will be for this combined sewage which is going to be there. Okay, now types of sewerage systems. So we have three types of sewage systems. One is combined, one is separate, and third one is partially separate system. Now combined system in the sense, both the storm water, that is rainfall water, and the sewage which is being generated, that will be collected together and it will be taken away. So that is nothing but your combined system. Separate system means you will be having two separate conduits. In one, storm water will be moving up, in one the sewage will be moving up. So that is nothing but the separate. And partially separate in the sense what, there are few instances, or there are specific conditions only where the sewage as well as storm water will move through only one conduit, and in case of excess rainfall, when the capacity of this pipeline will be less for collecting even that excess amount of rainfall that has occurred. Only at that point of time the second pipeline will be used for the passage or conveyance of that storm water. So that is nothing but the partially separate system. So in the next slide, let us go in detail about all these three systems. First one is a combined system. Okay. So when both the sanitary sewage and storm water are carried in a single sewer, it is called as combined sewer system. Okay. So when both the sanitary sewage and the storm water are carried in a single sewer, it is called as combined sewer system. When the flow in a combined sewer consists of only domestic sewage and the industrial waste without any storm water, then it is called as dry weather flow. Okay, so don't get confused. Combined system, sewerage system is a different thing and flow is a different thing. So this dry weather flow and wet weather flow will take up in the next class. But combined system, maybe if you remove the storm water, then the flow which is going to be there, that is what we are going to call it as dry weather flow. Now if I explain with respect to this figure over here, you can check out, we have some buildings, okay, apartments, buildings, offices, institutions, you can imagine. Then we have some residential area. Okay, now you can imagine this combined system is what we are through these pipes we are collecting all the sewage. Okay, and these are the outlet for these buildings and residential house. Apart from that, you can check out there is a nala or something, or even on the road or open drains which are being constructed by human beings. So those water is also being collected. So ultimately, whether it is a storm water with the blue color here indicated or with the sewage which is indicated with brown color, everything will be collected in a single pipe. Everything will be collected in a single pipe. So this, in this single pipe, so it has two choices based on the facilities what we have. Directly this collected sewage can be disposed of into the river, or it may be taken to a treatment plant where it is treated and then it is being disposed of. Please again I'll tell you, this sewerage systems are nowhere related with the treatment or the method of disposal. Only these sewerage systems are related with conveyance of waste from one point to the another point. So that another point may be your disposal point or to the treatment plant, it doesn't matter. So if you in simple terms, if you are combining both the storm water and the sewage in the same line, then you are going to call that as combined sewerage system or combined system, whether the disposal point is your river or the treatment plant, it is irrespective of that. Okay, so that's why this is the details regarding the combined systems. Now let us see regarding what are the different advantages and disadvantages of combined sewerage systems. Advantages: both domestic sewage and storm water are carried in a single sewer, so the construction cost is less. So you can imagine the construction cost for a combined system is very less compared to the other system. The reason being what? We are conveying both the storm and sewage in the same conduit. The strength of domestic sewage is reduced because of dilution of storm water. So automatically, since we are mixing that storm water or rainfall or runoff water with the sewage, obviously that dilution is taking place. Because of this dilution, the domestic sewage is having a reduced sewage concentration. The sewers are of large size and therefore chances of their choking are rare. It is easy to clean them. So the diameter of these pipes will be very large. Okay, so because of that, what will happen? So the clogging of these sewer lines because of any of the obstruction will be very less. Okay, because the clogging will almost never happen for a combined system. Okay, and even for cleaning them, it is quite easy because they are large. So for a outlet pipe where the diameter will be in terms of meters together, so that time even the cleaning of these sewers will be quite easy. Next is in town with narrow street, this system is preferred. So in very small roads or towns where the space is limited, so instead of having two separate pipelines, in separate system, we can have this combined system where only one pipe is used for disposal or conveyance of both the things. So that is an advantage for this. Now disadvantages. Okay, so the initial cost is high because of large dimensions of sewers. So you can check out in advantages I said, so the construction cost is less. So construction cost is less when you compare it with the other facilities, but the initial cost, that is for the initial implementation of this combined system, it is going to be a bit more costlier because of larger sewer dimensions. So this will become an in a separate system, separate sewerage systems, this is going to become an advantage because there we are using a lesser dimension pipes where the cost will be reduced. Because of larger size of sewer, their handling transportation is again difficult. So in simple terms, if I have two pipelines, let us say this is one diameter pipeline, okay, one more is this small diameter pipeline. So obviously the cost of this larger diameter pipe is more than the second one. Second thing is, laying of these larger pipe will require you huge instruments where you are going to lift them and lay down at a specific slope or something. But whenever this particular diameter is small, even the weight will be less, because of which the laying and even the jointing of these pipelines will be much more easier. So that will become a disadvantage because of the larger size of the sewers, their handling transportation is quite difficult. Due to the inclusion of stormwater, the load on the treatment plant increases. That is, here what we are doing is, we are mixing both the stormwater and sewage, right? So because of that, what is happening, ultimately all this water, if it ends up in treatment plant, okay, then that time the size of these treatment units will be much more larger because they need to treat even the storm water. So because of that, what, your volume will increase drastically. So that's why that is going to become an disadvantage for combined system. During heavy rains, the sewer may be overflown and may thus create unhygienic conditions. That is, even right now you have seen because of the incident rains in the recent time, few of the drains were overflowing, even the water was there on the roads. So imagine right now what we have seen in Belgaum is only the storm water or runoff water. Imagine having that sewage mixed with this storm water and that entire mixture is being spread on the road. Ultimately, it is going to cause much more unhygienic conditions in any case of flood if we are using the combined sewerage systems. If the whole sewage is to be disposed of by pumping, it is going to be uneconomical. The reason, again, I'll try to explain here. If a house is generating sewage, definitely it has concentration. You need to treat that. That will be better. If you want to take away with the storm water, okay, which is not polluted at all, and if you want to dispose it off, okay, so this will, storm water usually will not harm the environment. Okay, so that's why its disposal will not matter much, only its proper pathway should be provided so that it will reach one point of disposal, that is enough. But whenever you want to pump out this entire thing to the disposal point, then obviously this storm water will provide additional discharge or additional volume of water that needs to be pumped up with the sewage. So that is going to be again a much more costlier. Okay, so that's why that is going to become one more disadvantage for combined system. Now the next one is separate system. Okay, separate sewerage system. So here in this system, two separate sets of sewers are installed, one for collection and one conveyance of sanitary sewage and the other for stormwater. That is, here you are not going to mix that particular stormwater and sewage. As stormwater is carried separately, it is not foul in nature and normally disposed of to natural watercourse without any treatment. So as I said in the previous slide, since the stormwater will not have any contaminants, So directly you can just dispose of that to any of the streams, lake, pond, or else you can even use that for any of the recreational purposes. Whereas sanitary sewage is taken into the treatment plant separately, and after requires treatment it is disposed of, or else based on the different conditions again. It may be treated or it may not be treated, so that sewage line will be separate and that can be disposed of separately. If you check out this figure, house, if you consider, right, so household drainage or sewage which is there, which is being collected into this yellow pipe. Okay, so in this yellow pipe, that what I can say, that collected wastewater is being converted, taken to the treatment plant. If imagine there is no treatment plant for the city, then what will happen? Entire sewage which is being collected will be directly disposed into the any of the water body. Okay, it will be directly disposed into the any of the water body. Okay, if you have treatment, then you can take it over there. If you don't have, directly you can dispose it off. So that's why again I am repeating, your separate sewerage systems. So sewerage systems are not related to the treatment, so only from one point of source to the disposal point. So disposal may be again your treatment plant or the any water resources, so there it can be taken off. Now similarly, if you take out this roof water which is being collected, which is taken to the separate line, and even the storm water or runoff water from the roads or any paved materials, so even that will be taken to the drains or lakes. So even that can be taken to the different disposal points. So here at no point the sewage and the storm water are going to be mixed up. Okay, so this is about the separate sewerage system. So let us check out its advantages and disadvantages. Advantages. Okay, size of the sewers required are less. Since it is a separate system, that's why the amount of size required, or its diameter of these pipelines, will be much more smaller when you compare it with the combined system. Since the sanitary sewage and storm water flows in a separate pipes, the quantity of sewage to be treated is less. Obviously, since it is not mixing, so the basically the disadvantages of combined systems are going to become advantages for separate system, where only the small quantity of sewage which is being collected, only that is being treated. So that's why the size of the treatment units will be again smaller. As the sewers are smaller in section, they can be easily ventilated. So ventilated in the sense, even their laying cost, everything will be quite simple. So even for the ventilation purpose, as in the earlier slide we have discussed, so it can be easily done for a separate sewer system. Next we have, during disposal of the sewage to be during disposal, if the sewage is to be pumped, the separate system is cheaper, because we have less quantum of sewage to, or as liquid to pump. So that's why separate system will be much more cheaper when you compare it with the combined system. Next we have, rainwater can be discharged into the stream without any treatment. Now since we are not mixing those, then obviously we can directly dispose that rainwater or runoff water to the streams or lakes, in turn get rid of that particular liquid or runoff flow. Now, disadvantages. Since the sewer are smaller size, it is difficult to clean them. One disadvantage, they are likely to get choked because of the smaller size. If any of the debris are added into that particular storm flow or for the sewage, then it is easily clogged up. Whereas these two were the advantages for combined sewerage system. Initial cost is high when two separate systems are used. So again, one more aspect over here. So initial cost, whenever we talk about, it is basically the cost of the pipeline, the cost of laying those pipelines, as well as the labor which is involved. Along with that, the amount of land or the other accessories or other miscellaneous costs that are going to be involved with the project. So laying of single pipe will be much more cheaper than laying of two separate pipes. So in combined system we laid only one pipe, so that's why it was cheaper. Whereas here we are having two separate pipes installed for storm water and sewage. So that's why the initial cost for this is going to be a bit costlier. Maintenance cost of sewer is also high. Maintenance cost in the sense what? If it gets choked up. okay, if it needs to be cleaned. So then again there are different special equipments that needs to be used, so that's why even the maintenance of these will be quite high. And one more important bit is, if you consider tropical country like India, so we have only 4 months of rainfall throughout the year, right? So that's why, so remaining 8 months, the storm water drains which are there, they will be left blank. So at that point of time, there is an obvious chance of any of the debris, leaves or any wood or dead animals, so they are going to make their particular clogging of those lines. So once the immediately that rainfall starts, then the clogging and all the other disturbances will start up. So that's why before the rainfall, the authorities need to make sure that there is no clogging of storm drain. So such kind of activities require more cost, so that's why the maintenance cost of this separate system is higher. Generally, self-cleaning velocity is not available due to small quantity of sewage. Therefore, flushing required at various points. So, what do I meant by this? Okay, so I guess in the previous semester we have discussed about the flow of variation, or else let us discuss that once again. I'll just try to brief you. The thing what will happen is, if I consider let us take an example of a household. Okay, imagine there are 4 people in a house. Okay, so usually what these people will do, in the morning time they get freshen up. Okay, so that time the sewage is generated. Till afternoon again there will not be much activity in the bathroom, because they have freshen up, and a few of them might have gone to office or school or colleges or their particular work. So next again in the afternoon, once they come for lunch, so that time they may wash their hands, so some small quantity of waste can be generated. Similarly in evening they may freshen up, so again in night the amount of quantity of waste will be less. So that's why here what will happen, throughout the day this sewage will not be generating at the same intensity, or same discharge rate will not be there. So sometime in the morning the discharge will be more, afternoon again it will be less, evening again it will be more, again night it will be less. So at that point of time, because of the small sewer sizes, so if a minimum velocity is not maintained, then the solids particles which are available inside that sewage will settle down over here. So once this settling starts, okay, once this settling starts, they are going to what? They are going to combine and they are going to clog this sewer. Okay, so that's why this self-cleaning velocity, it indicates what? If the velocity is beyond a particular limit, which makes sure that there is no settling of such particles, then you are going to call that as self-cleaning velocity. So in separate systems, what will happen? Sometimes self-cleaning velocity cannot be maintained. The reason being because of this variation, and because of that, what, the flushing will be required at few of the points. So that is, if a line is, let us say, some 20 kilometers like this, so at every 5 kilometers you may require some auxiliary apparatuses where you are going to add the water in pressure, so that such kind of deposits, if anywhere they are there, that will be washed away with that. Okay, so again for that is going to become a disadvantage for separate sewerage system. Now the third one is partially separate system. So in this, only one set of underground sewer is laid. Okay, these sewers admit the sanitary sewage as well as the early washings from the drainage area due to the rains. So only some partial amount of runoff water will be collected through this sewerage system. When the storm water exceeds its specific limit, the excess is diverted into the natural water course. So now you can imagine here, you can check out this. Okay, so we have only one main line here. Fine. So in this main line, I am getting all the black water from the washrooms, kitchens, and whatever it is. So to that, I am, whether I am taking it to the treatment plant or a disposal plant, it is a separate thing. But in the same pipeline, you can imagine even the runoff water is coming in. Okay, so it has its own ability. Imagine this particular pipe is designed to carry, let us say, 1,000 liters of water per minute. Okay, and whenever the rainfall occurs, okay, till that 1,000 liters per minute of entry, including sewage and this runoff, this pipe is able to collect that and convey it. If the particular discharge goes beyond 1000 liters per minute when it is raining, then that excess water will be taken away with the another set of sewerage system, or else another set of pipeline where it is directly disposed of. I hope you are getting that. So one pipe is underground which is laid, which is used for collecting both the sanitary as well as storm water, but with a limit. If that limit is exceeded, then the remaining storm water will be collected with another pipe, or it will be conveyed to the another pipe or overflow pipe, what we are going to call, and we are going to dispose it off into the receiving water streams. So this is what it means. So it is an intermediate way between combined and separate system, where you are taking the full advantages of the diameter of the pipe and the capacity of the pipe for conveying the waste, whether it is sewage or runoff storm water from one point to the another point. So let us check out its advantages and disadvantages. Advantages. The sewer are of reasonable size, that is, they are neither too small, they are neither too large. Their cleaning therefore is not difficult. So that's why it is an optimum condition between both the sizes. It combines the advantages of both separate as well as combined system. The work of house plumbing is reduced because the rainwater from roof, sullage from the baths and kitchen, etc. can be taken to the pipe carrying the discharge from water closet. That is, the plumbing cost is also reduced because you don't have to provide separate pipeline for collecting the storm water as well as for collecting the sewage, whether it is black water or grey water from the residential houses. Disadvantages. During dry weather flow, deposition takes place in the sewer. So again, as I told you with respect to the separate sewer systems, so only 4 months of rainfall is occurring, then obviously for the remaining 8 months, so that will not be used. So the similar kind of problem partially exists even for a partially separate system. Next, we have initial storm water is included in the cost of pumping and size of disposal units increase. So if the first flushing or first runoff from the rainfall, if you collect that and get it to the treatment plant, then obviously that particular volume will be increased. Not to the extent of combined sewerage system, it will be less than that, but it will be definitely more than the separate system what we have discussed earlier. The storm water increase the load on the treatment units, obviously, because they are having that first washing. It includes all the dirt, suspended solids, settleable solids and the gases. So in turns it may cause a bit of additional load on the treatment units. There are possibilities of overflow requiring the construction of storm water overflow. That is, if the quantum of rainwater is more, then we need to again install one more pipeline if the capacity of the designed layout is exceeded. So the best example I can tell you right now is even the last year and this year, what rains we had in Belgaum. So they were more than the capacity of the sewers or open drains that have been planned over here. So that's why that particular flooding situation had occurred in some of the areas. So similarly here, if you don't want such kind of a thing to happen, then the additional pipelines or drains that should be provided properly, so that to take care of such kind of additional volume that will be adding up during the rainy season. Yeah, so this is about the three different sewerage systems, that is combined, separate and then partially separate.